Who or what do you fear? I want you to really think about this today. Is there something or someone that you fear other than Allah in this life? If there is, then we have work to do, all of us. And I'm sure we could find something or someone that we have a degree of fear towards. And fear is an extremely negative, paralyzing emotion if it's not directed or channeled in the right way. I mean, fear, I would even argue, is one of the biggest contributors towards our sins, especially those sins that we are engaged in regularly or keep going back to. And now you may think, well, how's that the case? The reason that's the case is because one of the reasons we can't give up certain sins is because we're afraid. We're afraid of the outcome of giving up. We're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of how we're going to feel when we stop engaging in that sin. Fear destroys us on so many different levels. And the biggest issue is that fear is a barrier between us and our Creator. When you fear something else other than Allah, you are submitting to that thing in some way, to some degree. But we as Muslims are only to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, without associating any partners with Him. Doesn't Allah say in the Quran that if He was to support you and help you, then who is there that can overcome you? But if He was to forsake you and leave you, then who is there after Him that can help you? And then Allah concludes this particular ayah by saying, so let the believers put their trust in Allah alone. Don't put your trust in anything or anyone else. And putting your trust in Allah also means that you rely upon Him and you depend upon Him alone, that you fear Him alone. It is a hallmark, a characteristic of a Muslim that we should all aspire towards. We should be fearless. We should be free in the knowledge of who our Creator is. In the knowledge that Allah is the only one who is in control, the only one that has power, the only one that allows for things to exist. He is completely independent and free of need when everything is in need of Him at every single moment of his existence. Therefore then, why should we fear anything other than our Creator? And to be more specific, when we talk about fearing Allah, what we're really saying is fearing displeasing our Creator, the one that created us and gave us this beautiful opportunity of life. Something I want us to also think about, you know what's really interesting, whenever Iqbal speaks about or refers to the Muslims in his poetry, one of the animals that he continues to make reference to is the falcon or the eagle. And he makes reference to these birds, and I was wondering why until I watched the clip, which I'm going to put in the end of this video. And when you study these birds and you look at their behavior and their traits and their characteristics and the way they live, something that becomes apparent, one of the things that becomes apparent, is that they are completely fearless. They dominate the skies. They are free of any fear. They're not worried. As you'll see in the clip, this bird, at the approach of a potential predator, not even a real threat, this bird swoops down and it attacks. It attacks a horde of birds 5 times its weight. And not only attacks one of them, I'm going to attack one, okay, I may get lucky, get away with it, and then just return back. No, he attacks, swoops back around, attacks the second, swoops back around, attacks the third, then the fourth, until he's done away with all of them. These are birds 5 times its size. It's not worried about its contender. It's not worried about what it's facing, its challenges. It's completely fearless. And when it flies out, to take out this obstacle, what's profound is that you see, not only is it doing this in out of concern for its children, its offspring, but it's almost doing this out of its very nature. This is what this bird is. This is one of the things that defines it. And being fearless should be a characteristic of the Muslim, especially a Muslim that recognizes and understands that our Creator Allah is the only being that has all power. All power belongs to Allah and we are His servants. We submit to Him directly. We don't submit to any of His creation, anything He created. We don't submit to anything else. We function in this reality with responsibility. We're fearless, but we're responsible. A Muslim should be fearless, but be responsible. Doesn't mean you just go and do whatever. No, a responsible human being that's concerned about humanity, that takes care of his fellow human beings, that tries to establish good, speak out against injustice, stand up against injustice, but is not afraid, is not doing these things out of weakness towards anything or anyone else, is doing it solely for the sake of his creator or her creator and to please their creator. Something for us to think about. I'm going to play the clip now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, take care.
But she is torn between feeding hungry mouths and guarding the nest. Anything that passes too close, she views as a threat. Five times her body weight, the brown pelicans ignore her warnings. A dangerous mistake. She scrambles to intercept. A yank on the face throws the hapless pelican off balance. One down. She circles back for the rest. A skillful bill flick takes care of another. But while she's seeing off the pelicans, a real threat is making its way towards the nest. A gopher snake. Skillful climbers, they hunt up and down these sandstone cliffs and would make an easy meal of an unprotected falcon chick. But nothing escapes her eye. A single strike with her talons is all it takes.